Can you all introduce yourself?
Rita.
Wayne.
Lisa.
Ralph. Did you ever wake up on Saturday morning, roll over in bed really early, rub your eyes, and just think, wow, I need to go to Home Depot today. I need to go get a truck full of wood so I can start my dream deck that I've always wanted. I picture in my head right over here, I have my double barbecue grill, half charcoal, half gas. And then on this side of the deck, I have my huge table that can fit 8 chairs, has a little hole in it, so you can put the umbrella through and it shades you from the sun. Then right here, I have my mini fridge with some beers and some soda pops and juice boxes for the kiddos. What about that accent wall that your wife is always wanting you to paint in that upstairs living room? Maybe she wanted you to try burnt orange, maybe she wanted you to try cranberry, maybe some coffee ground. You just put it on the wall, you let it sit there for a couple days to a week to test it out, how it works with the pictures and the furniture, comes together with everything in the living room. Tell you what, folks, if you rent a house or an apartment, you can forget about it. That's not happening. So what I want you to do is think about saving those Sunday papers, scanning through the real estate sections, looking for that dream castle that you always envisioned that you wanted to have with the wife and the kiddos. Good afternoon, or good evening. Today, I want to talk to you about why I think it's better to own a home compared to renting. I want to start off by talking about the American dream, what I envision as the American dream of owning a home. Then I want to move over and talk about the versatility of owning a home compared to renting. And then I want to wrap this thing up and talk about the financial advantages you have when you own a home. Now, me and my wife have both been in the military. We've been married over 10 years, 10 and a half years. And in that time, we've lived in 3 different states. We lived in Texas, we lived in Colorado, and now we live in Ohio. And in that time, we've rented in Texas, Colorado, and Ohio, and we've owned homes in all 3 states. The American dream. The American dream, according to CNNmoney.com, the American dream is alive and kicking. A house is just your structure, it's the physical being. But a home is the stories that you create with your wife, your kids, your dogs, your pets, any pets, fish, frogs. It's a sense of belonging to a community. It's traditions you create with your neighbors and your friends. You become friends with your neighbors and you have traditions such as like we have in our neighborhood, the 4th of July. We get together every 4th of July and have a neighborhood barbecue. One of our neighbors goes out and purchases a bunch of fireworks in the neighboring state. And on the 4th of July, after our barbecue is done, we have a huge firework display that equals or beats out the city of Dayton's firework display. Another tradition that we all have, and I believe all of us have had it since we've been kids, is decorating your house for Christmas. You take pride in putting up the snowman, the blow-up snowman, and the blow-up Santa Claus in the front yard. Or you have a competition of how many lights and who has the loudest music. It becomes a competitive thing between you and your neighbors. And then finally, if you have kids, or maybe even if you don't have kids, trick or treat. We all dress up for Halloween. We go around and collect candy from the neighbors. It's always a fun time. It's that sense of belonging within that community. And what's most important to me and why I envision this as the American dream is I envision this as an investment. And it's an investment into my kids and my family. Because someday I hope to pass down my house to my children. Now that I talked to you about why I envision owning a home is the American dream, I would like to move on and talk to you about the flexibility you have in your own home. The one thing you can do is customize your home. According to real estate at MSN.com, the outdoor spaces increases your home's appeal. If you want to slap on that deck on the back of your house, like I mentioned earlier, go buy that wood to build that deck, you can do that. You don't have to seek permission from anybody. As long as you have some money in the bank, you go ahead and buy that wood and build that dream deck. I was reading an article on Trulia.com, and according to Warren Buffett, who is the 3rd richest man on the planet, he states that right now in America, we have low interest rates, and we have low housing costs, so it would be smart for Americans to buy a home right now. Another thing you may want to do is build that man cave. You don't have to seek permission again to build that man cave you always wanted if you have that basement. If you want to watch your Philadelphia Eagles on Sunday, beat up on other teams, go ahead and do it. Build that man cave for yourself. According to the Denver Business Journal, finishing your basement equals a kitchen remodel as the financial return of home renovations. My favorite of owning a home is, like I said before, no landlords. If you have a 90-pound dog, you don't have to pay for pet insurance or pet rent, whatever they call it. No, you just get your pet. So now that I talked to you about finishing my basement or putting a deck on the back of the house as having the luxury and the versatility within a home, let's finish off and talk about the financial advantages. According to money at CNN.com, the lower the housing rates fall, the more affordable homes are becoming in America. According to GoBanking.com, in 72% of U.S. cities, renting and mortgaging a house are equal. For example, in the Virginia area, if you want to mortgage a 3-bedroom home, you can do that for cheaper than renting a 2-bedroom apartment. Now, we lived in our house right now, currently for 3 years in Dayton, and every year we get a $5,000 to $7,000 tax break. And what that does is it goes toward our interest and it reduces the tax that we owe on our home. If you're renting, I can bet you that is not offered to anyone. I was reading on military.com, if you're paying your mortgage, you're building equity in your home. And equity is the financial value of your property over and above the amount you owe. Basically, it's the difference between the house value and the remaining mortgages of loan payments on that house. Now, when you pay rent, you're paying either that landlord's mortgage or whoever owns that house's mortgage. And you're not only paying that mortgage, you're probably putting some extra money in their pocket. Now, right now in the United States, we have a down economy, and it's a down housing market, but a market will not stay down forever. If you buy your house now and say you want to sell it in 5 to 10 years, there's a tremendous possibility you will make some money on the house. Now, getting a tax credit to pay toward your home is one of the financial advantages I mentioned, along with getting equity in your home. Let's go back and review. Now, today we talked about owning a house, and it's my vision that's my American dream. Then we talked about the flexibility of owning houses, painting that wall for your wife, or putting a deck on the back of the house. Installing a man cave in the basement, that's the flexibility you have when you own a house compared to renting. And then I wrapped it all up and talked to you about a couple of the financial advantages you have over renting when you own a house, such as the tax break we get to pay toward our interest, or the equity you build in your house. Now, what I want you all to do is just save those Sunday papers so you can think about that castle you want to buy for the house and kids. Kids, come here. Maybe go ahead and buy some Behr paint, paint that accent wall for your wife. And I want you all to go out there and live that American dream. Thanks.
That's 640.